speaking of pardons, the other big bet that I had given out at sportspicks.locals.com was to bet on President Biden issuing preemptive pardons and a guarantee to Liz Cheney and likely others, and he would likely do his family right before he left, so that he could cover any and all the other crimes they committed in the last 2 weeks of his presidency. And I think we nailed who Biden was to a T. That was an underdog. In fact, some people bet on Jim Biden to get a pardon yesterday as low as 5% chance. In other words, they made a 20-fold rate of return. If you bet 100, you won $2,000 in a day. Not a lot of things that pay 20x rate of return in a single day. Now it's kind of just sad that you're betting on the corruption of Biden. But if you're going to have a corrupt president, at least some of us might as well cash in on it. But it was more putting your money where your mouth is and seeing, yes, indeed, this is who these people are. And we had a better read on that than most of the insiders in D.C. We knew exactly who Joe Biden was and who he would be. And we saw that represented in his not only who he pardoned, but when he pardoned them. Pardoning Milley, pardoning Fauci, pardoning everybody on the January 6th committee. If they were witnesses, if they were employees, if they were low-level staffers, if they were janitors. Because what it really told the story of, the January 6th committee was a set-up committee to rewrite a bogus narrative, just like Russiagate was. Russiagate was designed to cover up for Spygate. The January 6th committee was there to cover up for stealing an election and for for unleashing biological weapons on the world. That's what the January 6th committee was really there for. Blame Trump for all this. Claim those crazy Trump people that caused any problems, not us in the corrupt elections, not us in the bioweapons work we've been doing. The length of time that bioweapons work has been undergoing is evident in the length of time that the pardons were issued, especially for Milley and Fauci, dating back to 2014. Why is Biden pardoning Milley for acts he did in 2014? Why is he pardoning Fauci for acts he did in 2014? Why is that? Well, what is it that all of this ties together? Ties together to the election, ties together to the Biden crime family. We pardon them all. And it ties to a particular country. It ties to Ukraine. Ukraine is where the Biden family was lining their pockets. Ukraine was neck deep with setting up biolabs, with the Western intelligence agencies, with setting up biolabs in Ukraine. Later expanding and extending those biolabs to China, where they were using it developing the Wuhan virus. If you had any doubts that the election was corrupt, if you had any doubts that the January 6th committee was corrupt, if you had any doubts that General Milley was corrupt, if you had any doubts that Fauci was corrupt, if you had any doubts they were part of a broader conspiracy to steal an election and unleash a bioweapon to help facilitate it, Biden's pardons ended all doubt. Because he not only did he issue the pardons, he issued them to that same group of people on that extended time basis over extended courses of conduct with connecting Milley, Fauci, the J6 committee, and his family together. That's what that was all about. So what it was is we were just better at predicting who these people were and what was really going on. And that's how you could profit from it, by betting on it, that this is who these people are and this is what's really going on. Now, I've seen some discussion that the preemptive pardons could be challenged in court. I seriously doubt that, nor would I favor that. I believe in the pardon power. I believe it's a very powerful tool for the elected president of the United States to correct abuses and malfeasance and misconduct. And just as we want its power to be useful for the January 6th defendants, we don't want to take it away because we don't like when a Democratic president does it for his pals and his family and his corrupt allies. There are other ways to get relief and remedy concerning some of those individuals. And of note, he wasn't bright enough or bold enough to pardon all the private citizens that were complicit beyond his family. And that's where Bill Gates is involved, George Soros is involved, people of that nature were involved. That is, I still think, the most productive path to pursue potential criminal punishment and prosecution now that Milley and Fauci have full pardons.